Hi, everybody. Welcome to another episode of the LOCUS Golden Hour podcast. My name is Kristina.
And I'm Lina.
So, this podcast is about sharing stories, advice, tips, and all things surrounding university and student life. And today we'll be chatting about the differences between high school and university, which can be a big transition. So, I guess we can start off with an icebreaker. Lina, was there anything that shocked you with transitioning to university that you
Yeah,
recall?
I think like the biggest thing, when I was after I got all my classes, right? You can take usually a course load of 5 courses, and then they're usually like twice a week, maybe like Monday, Wednesday, Tuesday, Thursday, and it's like an hour and 20 minutes, right? So you look at your schedule and you're like, oh my gosh, I have so much time. Like, I don't know if it was just me, but I looked at my schedule, like, oh my, like I could wake up later. Like, I don't know, there's just so much free time. And then I just realized that time was meant for like studying,
Mhm.
your assignments, your outside life, your part-time job, whatever it might be. And I was like, wow. And then like school started and I was like, oh, okay. Like,
Yeah.
this is university, right? Like, I just did not understand because like in high school, you're there from what? I don't even know what time school started.
For me, like 8.
8:39. Yeah, sure. Oh, wait, 8 o'clock.
Yeah, I started at 8:05 and I ended at 2:40. That was my high school
Oh,
time.
I'm pretty sure I started at like 8:30 and ended at 2:15. Wait, what?
Wow, whoa.
Okay. Anyways, so apparently my school started late, but whatever. You're in school from like a chunked amount of time. You go to your classes every single day, every period, right? You have the 4 periods or however many periods you had,
Mhm.
and you just go to school every day for every single subject. In this case, you're not you're not reviewing the same material every single day, and you have a
Mhm.
lot of free time, but that time is meant for other things.
Yeah.
So that shocked me. What about you, Christina?
Honestly, I might say the same thing. Like, your class schedule is completely different. Like, the structure of everything is completely different from high school because in high school, you had the same thing every day. You started at the same time, you ended at the same time. From this time to this time, you had math. From this time to this time, you had French. But, like, although they're like, I would say every Tuesday at 11, you have the same class, it's still different because not every day is the same. So, yeah, I would guess I would kind of say the same thing with you. It looks like there was a lot of free time, but really there was that was the time that you spent studying. Because in high school, they gave you like work periods, right? Like we still had
Yeah.
homework in high school, but it was a lot less than now in university. And even now, I don't really call it homework. I just call it work because most of it is at home anyways.
Yeah.
So yeah, just like the scheduling, I think, is the biggest thing.
Speaking of scheduling, then, how is it like building your timetable? Because that's something that's pretty different in high school.
Mm, I remember, I forget what the site is. Laurier
Schedule Me?
offers this. Yeah, that one. I remember the summer before first year, I was trying to find the best possible way I could structure my days. Like maybe I could get a day off here, maybe I could wake up late here. It's cool that you're able to do that and you have options of like which class you want to be in for which time.
Hmm.
It's also really good if you're commuting. So like you can chunk most of your classes on one day, so then maybe you don't have to commute on the other day, right? So yeah, I like that. There's a lot of freedom there.
Are you a morning class person or an evening class person or afternoon?
It's weird because I'm such a night owl. Um, like I woke up late to this meeting, but I'm a morning class person
Like
because
8:30? Like
like
8:30?
yeah, I don't mind it, but I think that's because it gets me in a nice routine, an adulting routine. Shout out to our last podcast episode. um, it gets me in a good routine, and then I feel like I am accomplished before like most of the day has gone by. So
Mm.
like it gets me to wake up early, it gets me to start working early in the day. And then especially with school being online, I liked to do things in the morning so that I worked on school like a 9 to 5 kind of thing. Like I had certain like space in the day that was for school so that after I had time for myself and I was able to find like that work life balance. So that's
Mm-hmm.
why I like early classes. So I schedule it like that. Also,
Yeah,
who wants to walk home after a 7 to 10 class, you know?
that's fair. I do not like the 3 hour classes. I think that's another thing you can choose, right? Like having that one 3 hour class in the week versus like two or three. And I cannot, my attention span is like a chipmunk. Like I cannot pay attention in a 3 hour lecture. So I know that and like try to avoid those.
Yeah.
Yeah, I would say I'm also like I don't want to say I'm a morning person because I'm not. Like I don't like 8:30s and I would avoid them. If you cannot wake up in the morning, I'm advising you, if you can choose, do not choose 8:30 because that will just put you in a rush. I like 10. I feel
10
like
is pretty good.
10 to I like afternoon, say like 2 or like even like until like it ends at 4. Like I like those classes just because I'm also like you with like I want to group everything 9 to 5 and then like the evenings are for extracurriculars, work or whatever. So that's kind of how I like to do them. And do you prefer clumping yours like back to back classes?
Yeah. Um like at least having a little bit of like a break or space in between. But I do like clumping the days. So like I have work days and then I have like, relaxed days. I try not to do schoolwork on the weekend. Um that's if I actually follow my schedule. But I think last semester for it just I didn't get to pick because of like the program I'm in right now, but I had Mondays and Fridays off. So like I used
Wow,
those days as my work days, and then I had classes from Tuesday to Thursday, and then I kept my weekends relatively free.
that's so nice. And
Yeah.
that gives you kind of that balance of like social life or anything else on the weekends, right?
That's how I like to clump it together. Yeah. Like having all my classes so like I can get it done. Do you know what I mean?
No,
Like,
I get it.
yeah.
I like having back-to-back classes even when we're back on campus because it's like you just do classes and then you have like that free time to study or like do whatever. But I know some people prefer to have a break and like I don't know, work on other stuff in between their classes, but then like, you have to kind of well, you had to stay on campus back then, but now you can just do whatever. So I
Mhm.
guess it's a bit different online, but yeah, I definitely prefer having back-to-back classes as well.
I'd rather not space it out too much because like um then I lose focus.
Mm,
If I'm just like going to class and then I go to class and then I go to class, I'm in class school mode.
yeah.
Yeah.
I agree. In terms of like, I don't want to say difficulty because that's kind of like it's hard to describe that, but did you find that there are differences in terms of, I guess, how you were learning or how you were studying?
Hmm. I mean, I think it's definitely more independent in university. I think honestly, that's the only thing that comes to mind right now. I was the kind of high school student that had a good work ethic, I think, which helped me a lot. Because I know some people like, oh, I couldn't be, I'm not smart enough to just like not try. I need to try really hard to get like the grades that I do. But I don't know, just just that, I guess. What
Yeah,
about you?
I think something that shocked me though was the lectures because like my high school was never like lectury or like I don't know, I feel like professors were more hands-on in terms of like I don't know. It was just like I never used computers in the classroom in high school and um when you go to university like you're basically taking everything's on your laptop, right? Like you're taking
Mm-hmm.
your notes on your laptop and um you're essentially just listening well, hopefully it'll be an interactive like lecture, but um a lot of the times the professors is explaining concepts and you're just trying to listen and understand.
Uh-huh.
But I thought that was very different. And then I had to definitely change, I guess, the way I studied, or like I tried to, like in first year, I just tried so many different things because I was just like, I don't know what works and I don't know what I'm doing. So like the first like semester, I was literally like, I'm gonna try using Google Docs, or maybe I'll try annotating on the slides. What, like, I was like trying to figure out, like, can I write fast enough? Like I had notebooks and I was like, no, I cannot write fast enough and make it all coherent and pretty. So, um, I think that's kind of what's different in terms of like coming here and being like the classes are just so different.
Mhm. That's a good one. I didn't even think about like lectures. It's a lot to do with just listening, whereas in high school, you do more activities, I'd say, more interaction with the class and with your teacher. Um,
That's more
what,
outside of the classroom, right? Like they give you
yeah,
homework, but
yeah. What do you prefer as your learning style? Do you like lectures or do you like more interactive kind of classes?
I like interactive classes because, again, I told you my my attention span is not very good. But like when I'm taking notes, like I'm able to focus because obviously I have to, or like I'm doing something. But yeah, I've had a lot of classes that were like, you had to have your camera on, you had to participate. And I appreciate that because it's nice to have a discussion or just kind of learn from others. Um, but yeah, I mean, I don't really know. I feel like it really depends on the subject as well as, the professor because sometimes some subjects it's like, for example, math is a lot of doing, right? So you have to like
Mhm.
you do problems and I guess it's like more like going through that whereas like I don't know, a lecture about I can't even think of something, but some things just are more lecture style and
Yeah,
like require that. So I'm not really sure.
that's true. Like depending on what the topic is, even what your program is, um, some topics you'd benefit from being discussion based, and then some like just being told, right?
Hmm.
Um, I think it also depends with delivery being online because
Yeah.
it's hard to have a discussion class if it's like 70 people on Zoom, right?
Yeah. What are your
Um,
thoughts on breakout rooms?
oh, they make me really nervous, not gonna lie. um, if if nobody talks, then I'll talk first, but I'd rather someone else take the lead in breakout rooms. They just make me really nervous.
Yeah, I think it's frustrating when no one is responding, but you should try to have a conversation and discussion because that's the point, like, of the whole thing, right? Getting to like listen to other people. So like as much as like some people like really despise breakout rooms, but I would say like give them a chance and
Mhm.
try to like learn from them if you do them in your class.
Discussion can even be fun sometimes.
Mm.
I don't know if that's me being a nerd, but I like talking about it sometimes. It's something I'm interested in.
What about, electives? This is like, what would you say, like, because my advice for electives is choose what you like. Like, you need
Mhm.
to make sure it's something you enjoy or something fun because if it's, I feel like a lot of the times people are saying, like, take bird courses, like, what is easy to someone else may be very hard for you.
That's true.
Yes.
What electives did you take?
I'm trying to minor in French, so most of them are
Oh.
French. I did take one about education just because I'm also interested in like teaching or like, well, I don't plan to like teach in the future, but like I've always kind of had education like on the side, as something I was interested in. So yeah, I'm very excited for this elective, but it's music in French.
Oh.
So two things I really enjoy. I like languages, so I took Spanish in first year, and that was amazing. Like I literally did not know any Spanish. I can't speak Spanish now that if you ask me, but it was a fun. It was very fun. It was super fun. Yeah.
That's cool. Those are cool electives. Good choices.
Yeah. So do something you like and you'll be interested
Mhm.
and you'll be able to study and stuff. What
That's a
about
good.
you?
I don't really have too much space for electives just because how my program is because I'm at Laurier for 3 years and the Conestoga for one. So like I have to make sure I get 4 years of stuff in 3 years at Laurier. So I don't really have space for electives. But in first year, the electives I did take. were intro to social work and intro to youth and children's studies, because at the Brantford campus, there's not a lot of options like languages and stuff. I kind of wish there were, but I guess if things are online, like things weren't online in my first year, so if things are online, I think there's a possibility for you to take like Waterloo courses if they're online, right?
Maybe,
I think
probably.
sometimes there's an exception, but I really enjoyed youth and child studies and intro to social work because um, I don't know, it was the class where because there is the social work program and the youth and children's studies program at the Brantford campus, but those were the classes that was for the people who weren't majoring in that. Um, so it was catered more as an elective, it was taught more as an elective. Um, and I really like that because I'm interested in that stuff, but it also kind of applied to my program as well. So those are the electives that I took.
That's awesome. Yeah, it's nice. I know some programs you don't get any electives, so like I guess then makes it easy for you. But um, yeah, if you do have that choice, again, there's a lot of freedom, and I think it's really cool.
Mm.
Would you say, I guess, in terms of the transition, did you have more responsibilities? Were there any changes, I guess, in that freedom that you had?
Mm. I guess sort of just what we talked about, like the class time versus the study time. And then you have your own life responsibilities as well. Do you have anything to add on to that? There's nothing new I can really think of. Comes to my head.
No, no, I think I agree. It's just you're in charge of everything. So
Mhm.
make sure, I guess, you you're happy with what you're doing and it's hard. Don't get me wrong. It's really hard.
Yeah.
The transition is hard. But I would say, I guess my tip is like don't beat yourself up in first year if like things go wrong. If you fail that first midterm, if you fail that like it's hard. And there's a lot of help on campus. I'd say like so many take advantage of resources because I feel like there's
Mhm.
tons. Like,
Mhm.
I mean, high school is like very different, but like I guess there's more resources for like university because there's so much academic help,
Mhm.
mental health resources. Like, it's I was just overwhelmed to be honest because like people are shouting information at you that you get emails and you're like, okay, I'll get it.
Mhm.
Also check your email. Like all the time, like every day,
Mhm.
or like have your notifications on because you get a lot of emails and a lot of them are important. Some of
Mhm.
them may not be, but a lot of them are.
Some of them are giveaways you can enter too.
Yeah.
Yeah. So do those too.
Just read them. I feel like that's part of adulting going back to everything like reading emails like
Oh yeah. Yeah.
um but yeah, I think that's all I'd say. Like it is different, but you kind of have a lot of support in the transition and just remember that people are in the same boat. We always
Mhm.
talk about this. Everyone's in the same boat.
I have a question actually.
Mm.
Um, which did you like better? Do you like university better or did you like high school better?
University, 100%.
Okay, yeah, me too. Me too.
Please don't put me back. No, I think high school was nice. But it's almost like a little bubble. Like
Mm-hmm.
you're just kind of in, you see the same people and like, you're just surrounded by it's just very familiar, which is good, but like when you get into university, there's just a whole different world. You meet people from all over the place. You hear from different perspectives. There's this again, a sense of freedom and like you really have a lot of your own you can make your own choices and it's kind of this whole new world. It's
Mm-hmm.
like going a fish like you went from a fish bowl and then now you're in like a
Mm-hmm.
lake and then
Yeah.
you're gonna go into the ocean soon,
Oh,
right?
yeah.
What about
I,
you?
I um I also like university more. Like I definitely enjoyed high school. I'm glad I had a good high school experience, but it was good for me in that point of time.
Hmm.
Like teenage me needed that. But now like I like university, like you said, the different perspectives you see, the different experiences. It's just like I feel like personally too, I've gone through a lot more growth in the past 3 years at university than I did in 4 years in high school, just like
Mhm.
personal growth. um yeah, I really do enjoy university. I like it.
Yeah. I feel like they're kind of different too because like high school is like you're going through this time of growth as, you're in your teenage years and it's a whole different self-discovery and then you enter university and it's a whole different thing too. So, um sometimes they say like high school is like the best 4 years of your life. It's like no, not really. And even university, it's like, well, no, not really. Like that you have a lot more to your life. So if you didn't have a good high school experience, if you don't have, even if in university you're not really enjoying yourself, I'd say like, don't worry. Like there's kind of more to that. And I just say like be open-minded.
Hmm. Yeah.
Words of wisdom.
Last question, I would say,
Yeah.
is there anything that I guess you regretted in high school or like something that you did in university that you didn't do in high school that you're like, yeah, like this is cool, or you had the opportunity to do it?
Not personally, but when I think about that topic, I think like in high school, if you regretted not joining a club or getting involved more, do that
Mm-hmm.
in university. It's actually
Mm,
fun. Like, I know some people like on our Locus team that were not involved in high school whatsoever, but
yeah.
now they're doing like 5 different things on top of Locus and they're having the time of their life. So
Mm-hmm.
there's always like an opportunity to get involved.
Exactly. And like they all say, like you can kind of reinvent yourself if you didn't like who you were in high school or whatever. But I would just say like you can do whatever you want. No one cares.
Yeah.
Going back
Yeah.
to this is a topic that we talk a lot about in our podcast. No one cares like what like that sounds bad, but
No
like
one cares about you.
people who care will care for you. But I'm saying that if you feel like people are gonna judge you, they won't because they're worrying about themselves.
Mhm.
So do what you want. Go get it. Be a girl boss or a guy boss. Do what
Yes.
you want, achieve your goals, and we're rooting for you. That is all.
Yeah. And I don't think anybody's like ever like preying on anyone's downfall, you
Oh
know.
no.
Everyone knows that like we're going through stuff at this point in life, so everyone's cheering you on.
I feel like
Do what you gotta do.
the world is your collective besties. They're all
I
trying to
like that.
support you.
I like
Like
that.
your professors, your coworkers, your peers, they're all rooting for you, even if they don't say it.
Mhm. Yeah. Because
um
they'd hope that you're rooting for them too. So
exactly. Just
yeah,
spread some kindness. Spread kindness in the world. Be nice to one another.
love it.
Period.
Period.
I feel like, Christian, do you have any last words? I feel like we wrapped it up pretty well.
I don't have anything to add. I think we wrapped that up well.
I think so too. If you do have any questions, feel free to leave them, comment them for us to answer for our next podcast. But I know with like applications happening and people going, I guess, who are coming into university, like, you got this. We're rooting for you. And with that being said, make sure to follow our podcast, subscribe, and leave us a review. You can also follow us on our Instagram to stay up to date with everything that we're doing. That's at Locus Laurier. And we'll see you next time. Until then, stay golden, everyone. Bye.
Bye.